guys, it's Mel Hahn here with another Techie Tuesday. I'm so glad to be back. I've been doing some face-to-face PLOs and I love seeing your faces, but I also love sharing these little snippets of information that can help you make your classroom run smoother every single day. So here's a couple of tips for you this week for our Techie Tuesday. We're going to be talking about disk cleanup, how to disable the clutter on your email, and we're going to be talking about the About tab in Google Classroom. Love Google Classroom, so I'm so excited to share with you. So let's get started. If you notice, our teacher laptops are just kind of almost at the end of their lifetime, and they tend to run a little bit slower. Me being 25 plus shipping and handling, I can tell you that as you age, you definitely get a little bit slower. So to help those things, this is kind of like a little shot to their Energizer bunny kind of thing. If you will click on this right here, this is your start button. And we're going to go to all programs. And when you go to all programs, you will go to accessories. You're going to click on the accessories folder. And remember, all of this is in a handout, so you don't have to write anything down. System tools is the last folder you're going to want to open, and you're going to go to disk cleanup. Now, once you go to disk cleanup, this little crazy little box will pop up and it says, hey, we're going to do a little analyzation of your space. It's going to check and see how much space you truly have. And this will take a few minutes. You can still be working on other things in your classroom or other things in your computer so that it shouldn't slow you down too bad. Once this little analyzation happens, then you will get a box where you will be required to check off the many things that it needs to clean up. This is what's going to make your computer run a lot smoother and faster and give it that little bump it needs. So while this is going, we'll check on it in just a minute. Oh, there it is. The one thing you will want to notice about here is these two boxes are automatically checked. But as you can see, none of these other boxes are checked. According to my tech, you want to make sure to check all of the boxes because this is going to clean up all those old gucky files that are kind of slowing you down. So I'm going to go through and make sure everything's checked. Once I do, I click OK, and it says, are you sure you want to delete these? No, whenever you want to say delete, doesn't it make you nervous? But these are just temporary files that are kind of slowing you down. So it is not going to delete any of the main things or the main programs or the main files or the main documents that you have on your computer. So just click delete. Feel confident about it. Whoop! I did it. Now I'm going to show you some other things while we are being cleaned up. So how cool is that? It's just cleaning me up while I'm going to be going faster and faster and faster. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is what they call clutter. Now, have you ever been in your email and you look down here and for some reason you have this new clutter folder? Now, this is Microsoft Office's Outlook, which is what their email platform is called, Outlook email. And it is what we use in the district. But when you click on clutter, you will see that there's kind of some definite emails that it shoots to clutter. It says, oh, you don't really look at this so often, so we're going to put it in your clutter folder. It's kind of like your junk drawer. Well, the problem happens when people like Ms. Nori is trying to tell me that I have bus changes and she works in my building, and for whatever reason, her email now is going to my clutter folder. Now, I can quickly unclutter it by moving it to my inbox, but some of you just don't like the idea of the app itself, the email itself, program, deciding what is clutter and what's not clutter. So many of you guys have requested for me to show you how to disable your clutter. Now, the first step you need to do is many of you are tied to going to your Outlook email through your start button and you go to Outlook. In the district, I would encourage you to start getting used to going online to access your email. And what I mean by that is you would go to your actual home page and click on district email. This is what they call web-based email. It's great. It's easy. It is a little bit of a different format and it doesn't offer you all the options, but it's still really a great product. I can tell you in my old district, that was the only one we were allowed to use, is the web-based product. So I would say get used to doing it. So here I have all of my emails, and it's come up, and right here in the upper right hand corner you can see that there is a setting wheel, and that's settings wheel is kind of the icon that's made for settings anyway. If I click on options, and it should open up all these options that you can really set for your email, which is really, really wonderful. If you will see under mail, I have the word clutter. Now I'm going to click on clutter. For most of you who are having clutter issues, these two boxes are going to be checked. And in order to disable your clutter, in other words, you don't want anything else to be moved to your clutter folder, all you have to do is uncheck this box and click save. And because I already did it and mine was already saved, it's not going to give me the option to redo it and then hit save. I can redo it and then hit save. Let me show you how this works. Sorry. If I undo it, then it's going to give me the option to save it. Sorry about that. I did it a little earlier just to make sure that it worked for you guys. So now I can see that they are not going to separate my items identified as clutter, and I can be rest assured that no important emails are going to be thrown into my clutter box. So that is how you disable your clutter. The steps are not the same if you go in the client version, which means that you go to the start window. So you will really need to follow these steps through the web-based version only. And of course, that is what I meant by you're going to go through your school's webpage and click on your email and sign in that way. That is considered your web-based email. Okay, so I'm so excited about that. But beyond that, I am ready to move right into Google Classroom. Now, Google Classroom is definitely a place that the majority of my teachers, 99.9%, have started to reside in their classrooms. And that is because it's an easy way for you to communicate with students, give them assignments. Your students are already calculated there. You can share folders and all kinds of wonderful things that go on in Google Classroom. And since we are a Google Apps for Education district, it is really important for you to start stepping into those boxes. So I know it can be scary, but I say jump in with 2 feet. I want to show you one of the underused parts of Google Classroom, and that is the About tab. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Yes, is it about your class? Absolutely, but there's lots of cool things. As a matter of fact, 3 important ones that I want to let you know about. First of all, in the About tab, if you click Calendar, open in Google Calendar, what that allows for your students is when you open it in Google Calendar, it loads your class calendar into Google, okay? And it puts all of your assignments there. So if you are in the About tab and you have Science Period 1 and you open it in Google Calendar, guess what? Your students that are in your Google Classroom Period 1 will get a little calendar icon that says Google Calendar Period 1. They can click on that and they can see when you post assignments in your Google Classroom. That's right, when you're streaming along and you're adding this quiz and you're saying it's due February 23rd, well, guess what? That shows up on their calendar. How cool is that? And at Robert Anderson, as you know, starting on March 1st, everybody is going to be using Google Calendar as their agenda. So this is just a wonderful way for you to coexist both platforms. Google Classroom, shoot, right into Google Calendar. Also, here's another thing. You can add some great materials. You know, guys, there's always those forms, such as a handbook or rules or procedures, or maybe there's formulas from a math class that you know that they look at all the time. Any kind of document that you have that the kids view all the time, you would just put it here. So maybe I'm going to put rules. My classroom rules. And basically what I did here, and I kind of jumped ahead of you, sorry about that. Let me cancel this so I can show you. Add materials, you click on add materials, and I'm going to title it, and these would be for any documents or anything that you would like the kids to access. Now, that are outside of assigning them something. This is just kind of a bank for them to be able to get all or access all the documents that are regular documents or regular links that you use inside your classroom. So my class is Technology's Magic, even when you know how it's done. But if you have Science Period 1, this is where your Science Period 1 posts would go. All right, I can attach a file off of my computer. I can link a Google file. So I'm just going to grab one, okay? I know that it's not necessarily my rules for my classroom, but I'm just going to give you an idea of how this goes. I'm going to click a Google Drive file and click Add. And now I can post it. And guess what? Now my classroom rules are there for my kids to be able to access at all times and in all places and all things. And so now with the addition of some of us testing out ClassLink, whoo, that's just awesome. All right, the next thing you can do is you can add important links. At Robert Anderson, we use planbook.edu. Planbook is the one way that we communicate wholeheartedly with parents and students and other teachers even. So if we are in here and we have all of our students and I want to add my Planbook link, all I would do is put Planbook, and I'm just going to pretend that I am science. And down here you'll hit the hyperlink. And of course, that is the universal symbol for a hyperlink. I'm going to go up here to my plan book and I'm going to Control-C. I'm going to copy this link right here. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to paste it. Now, the interesting thing is you have to add it first, okay, before you post it. So when you're adding a link, you'll see that extra add button over there, and then you post it. Now, guess what? Kids are in my science class, and they're in my Google Classroom, and they can click on the About tab and access my plan book right from there, directly from there. So this is a really cool way to integrate 3 important things just by using this tab that I don't think many of us visit. So I would say teach your kids, teachers, start exploring with it. See what you want to post on there. I think it's going to be really, really wonderful. It can help you add all those materials and resources that kids need to access just at the click of the button. So although Stream is really the meat and potatoes of Google Classroom, the About tab can kind of be like the dessert. So I hope that you try doing a disk cleanup to see if your computer can run a little smoother and faster. Decide whether or not Clutter is exactly what you want on your email. And finally, check out the About tab in Google Classroom. It's well worth a visit. Well, this is Mel Hahn, and I want you to remember that technology is magic even when you know how it's done. Have a great Tuesday.